The war between Iran and America did not begin with the revolution or with the hostages. It began with oil and with a question. The two countries have not exchanged ambassadors since 1980, and this year that long silence finally became an open war. For half a century, a British company pumped Persian oil, kept the accounts secret, and paid Iran a fraction of the profits. In 1951, Iran's parliament voted to take that oil back, and a lawyer named Mohammad Mosaddegh became Prime Minister on the promise. Britain answered with an embargo and a naval blockade, freezing Iranian tankers out of every market until the oil sat useless underground. When London could not break him alone, it sold Washington a different story. Not a nationalist, but a door held open for Moscow. On August 19, 1953, paid crowds and bought officers toppled Mossadegh in a coup organized by the CIA and British intelligence. A year later, a consortium divided the oil, British Petroleum keeping 40%, while American companies took a share for the first time. The young Shah returned to his throne, and for 25 years he ruled with American weapons and a secret police that Americans helped train. By 1978, his streets were full of people who knew precisely which foreign governments had put him back on that throne. In February 1979, the monarchy collapsed, and Ayatollah Khomeini came home from exile to build an Islamic republic on its wreckage. That autumn, Washington admitted the dying Shah to New York for cancer treatment, and Tehran read it as 1953 starting again. On November 4th, students climbed the embassy walls and seized 66 Americans. 52 stayed captive for 444 days. A rescue mission burned in the desert, and the hostages walked free as Ronald Reagan finished his inaugural address. When Iraq invaded in 1980, Washington tilted toward Baghdad with satellite intelligence, agricultural credit, and silence about the chemical weapons being used. The fighting spread into the Gulf, where American warships escorted tankers through the shipping lanes and traded fire with Iranian gunboats and mines. On July 3, 1988, the cruiser Vincennes shot down an Iranian airliner over that water, killing all 290 people aboard. Washington called it a tragic mistake and never apologized, and Iran has repeated that number ever since as evidence of American intent. Sanctions hardened into a wall, and Iran answered by building the one asset nobody could confiscate: the machinery to enrich its own uranium. In 2015-16, world powers traded sanctions relief for hard limits, and for 3 years inspectors watched the centrifuges spin slower. In May 2018, Washington walked out of that agreement, and within 2 years, the limits, the inspections, and the trust were gone. A drone killed the commander, Qasem Soleimani. In Baghdad, Iran abandoned the last restraints, and every side began preparing for the next war. American bombers cratered Fordow and Natanz in 2025, and in February, strikes on Tehran killed Iran's supreme leader himself. So who started it? Both sides can point at a real wound. But the first cut was made in 1953, over oil,